हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय।
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजना, यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजना, यमुना तीरावनचारी, यमुना तीरावनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजना, यमुना तीरावनचारी, यमुना तीरावनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Ashtottara Sat Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Hare Krishna. So today we welcome you all to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. We are reading from 2nd canto, 6th chapter, 35th verse. Saha Sahaham Samam Naya Maya Tapamaya Prajapatinam Abhivandita Patihi आस्ताया योगम निपुणम समाहिता तम ना अद्यगच्छम यतः आत्मा संभवः सोहम समम नया यमयस्तपोमया सोहम समम नया यमयस्तपोमया प्रजापतीनामभिवन्दिता पतिः आस्ताय योगं निपुणं समाहितस् तं नाद्यगच्छं यत आत्मसंभवः सोऽहं समं नया मयस्तपोमया प्रजापतीनामभिवन्दिता पतिः आस्ताय योगं निपुणं समाहितस् तं नाद्यगच्छं यत आत्मसंभवः सोऽहं समं नयामयस्तपोमया प्रजापतीनामभिवन्दिता पतिः आस्ताय योगं निपुणं समाहितस् तं नाद्यगच्छं यत आत्मसंभवः हम समं नयामयस्तपोमया पतीनामभिवन्दिता पतिः हम समं नयामयस्तपोमया पतीनामभिवन्दिता पतिः आस्ताय योगं निपुणं समाहितस् माद्यगच्छं यदात्मसंभवः हम नाद्यगच्छं यत आत्मसंभवः पतीनामभिवन्दिता पतिः आस्ताय योगं निपुणं समाहितस् तं नाद्यगच्छं यत आत्मसंभवः माताजी's प्रजापतीनामभिवन्दिता पतिः आस्ताय योगं निपुणं समाहितम् तं नाद्यगच्छं यत आत्मसंभवः What meaning? Saham, myself. the great Brahma, Samamnaya Maya, in the chain of disciplic succession of Vedic wisdom, Tapamaya, successfully having undergone all austerities, Prajapatinam, of all the fathers of living entities, Abhivandita, worshipable, Pati, master, Astaya, successfully practiced, Yogam, mystic powers, Nipunam, very expert, Samahita, self-realize, Tam, the Supreme Lord, Na, did not, Adyagacham, properly understood, Yatha, from whom, Atma, self, Sambhava, generated. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Although I am known as a great Brahma, the perfect in the disciplic succession of Vedic wisdom, and although I have undergone all austerities, and am an expert in mystic powers and self-realization, and although I am recognized as such a great forefathers of all the living entities, who offer me respectful obeisances, still I cannot understand Him, the Lord, the very source of my birth. Purport. The Brahma, the greatest of all living creatures within the universe, is admitting his failure to know the Supreme Lord despite his vast learning in the Vedic knowledge, despite his austerity, penance, mystic powers and self-realization, and despite being worshipped by the great Prajapatis, the forefathers of the living entities. So these qualifications are not sufficient to know the Supreme Lord. Brahmaji could understand the Lord to a little extent only when he was trying to serve him by the eagerness of his heart. Hrudau Kantyavatam, which is the devotional service mood. Therefore, the Lord can be known only by the sincere mood of eagerness for service and not by any amount of material qualification as a scientist or speculative philosopher or by attainment of mystic powers. The fact is clearly corroborated in the Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapter 54 and 55. Brahma bhuta prasannatma nashochati nakangshati samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvata tato mam tattvato gnatva vishate tat anantaram. Only by self-realization, by attainment of above high qualifications of Vedic wisdom, austerity, etc., can help one on the path of devotional service. But failing in devotional service, one remains still imperfect, because even that position of self-realization, one cannot factually know the Supreme Lord. By self-realization, one is qualified to become a devotee, and the devotee by service mode, bhaktya only, can gradually know the personality of Godhead. One should not, however, misunderstand the import of Vishate enters into as referring to merging into the existence of Supreme. Even in material existence, one is merged in the existence of the Lord. No materialist can disentangle self from matter, but the self is merged in the external energy of the Lord. As no layman can separate butter from milk, no one can extricate the merged self from matter by acquiring some material qualification. This Vishate, by devotion, bhaktya, means to be able to participate in the association of the Lord in person. Bhakti, or devotional service to the mood, means to become free from material entanglement and then to enter into the kingdom of God, becoming one like Him. Losing one's individuality is not the aim of Bhakti Yoga or the devotee of the Lord. There are 5 types of liberation, of which is called Sayujya Mukti, or being merged into the existence or the body of the Lord. The other forms of the liberation maintain the individuality of the particle soul and involve being always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The word Vishate used in the verses of Bhagavad Gita is thus meant for the devotees who are not at all anxious for any kind of liberation. The devotees are satisfied simply in being engaged in the service of the Lord, regardless of the situation. Lord Brahma is the first living being who directly learned the Vedic wisdom from the Lord. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikave. Therefore, who can be a most learned Vedantist than Lord Brahma? He admits that in spite of his perfect knowledge in the Vedas, he was unable to know the glories of the Lord. Since no one can be more than Lord Brahma, how can a so-called Vedantist be perfectly cognizant of the absolute truth? The so-called Vedantist therefore cannot enter into the existence of the Lord without being trained in the matter of Bhakti Vedanta or Vedanta plus Bhakti. Vedanta means self-realization and Bhakti means realization of the personality of Godhead. To some extent. No one can know the personality of Godhead in full, but at least to a certain extent, one can know the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead by self-surrender and devotional attitude and by nothing else. In the Brahma Samhita also it is stated, Vedeshu Durlabham, or simply by study of Vedanta, one can hardly find out the existence of personality of Godhead. But the Lord is Adurlabham Atma Bhakto, very easily available to his devotees. Srila Vyasadeva therefore was not satisfied simply with compiling the Vedanta Sutra, but over and above this, by the advice of spiritual master Narada, he compiled the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in order to understand the real import of Vedanta. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam therefore is the absolute medium by which to understand the absolute truth. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varsabhanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripade Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Nama Madhuryojjvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaya Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasiddhanta Dvandaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambude Padambujayate Nama Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virba Bhumestvam Nirdeshna Sajjana Priya Vaishnavam Sarva Bhumo Shri Jagannadayate Nama Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Nama Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kamta Radha Kamta Namostute Jayatam Surato Pangur Mamamanda Matergati Matsarvasva Padambujo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadhrumada Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastav Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Preshtalibi Seve Manas Marami Srimad Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vada Tadastita Karshan Venu Sviner Gopi Gopi Nada Sriyestuna Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I take blessing from all the Vaishnavas assembled devotees assembled here, especially senior devotees, so that we can discuss about this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Later. Although I am known as a great Brahma, perfect in the disciplic succession of Vedic wisdom, and although I have undergone all austerities, and I am an expert in mystic powers and self-relation, although I am recognized as the great forefathers of all living entities who offer me respectful obeisances, still I cannot understand Him, the Lord, the very source of my birth. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki, Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So, even Lord Brahma is not able to understand Krishna. So, how will we understand Krishna? So today we will discuss that how we cannot understand Krishna. We will understand that how we cannot understand Krishna. Okay. So here Brahma is telling about himself that he has undergone so much of austerities. It is said that Lord Brahma, when he appeared from the lotus stem, he did austerity for 1,000 celestial years. So he is the greatest supreme tapasvi. That means there is no one in the whole universe has performed such an austerity like Lord Brahma. There is no one in this particular universe. He is such a great like tapasvi. We see some rishis who has performed like in Satya Yuga, like for some 60,000 years, 80,000 years, but that is insignificant in comparison to the 1,000 celestial years. That is very vast amount of time. Even in that time, while performing such type of austerity, he neither ate nor drank nor slept, and his mind was completely focused on his object of meditation, and he did austerity like that. He continued for 1,000 celestial years. Such a great tapasvi Lord Brahma is, and he is such a powerful person that whenever there is fight between demigods and demons, the demigods come to take shelter of Lord Brahma. Whenever there is a fight, and whenever demons, when they want some power, some special power, they also do austerity for the pleasure of Lord Brahma only. We take this example of Hiranyakashipu. He also did the same thing. So, so Lord Brahma is the most powerful, is the most knowledgeable, most austere person within the universe. And he is telling that I cannot understand Krishna. He means, here we hear that Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikave. That means Lord Krishna himself, through his heart, in Lord Brahma's heart, he gave this Vedic knowledge. He imparted all the Vedic knowledge. That means if you see this, there are different subject matters of Vedic scripture. There are different thoughts, different school of thought. There is Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Karma Mimamsa, Sankhya Yoga. So all this type of knowledge, Brahma is aware. Whatever the scriptures are meant for the human being, this Manu Samhita, all these things. So they were all written by the sons and grandsons of Lord Brahma. So that means he imparted this Vedic knowledge to them, and they wrote these scriptures. Whatever we hear the scriptures written by this Prajapatis, like Manu or different rishis, it's all knowledge coming through Brahma. So that's why he's the most knowledgeable person. And then And after having all this knowledge and such a great mystic, and he's greatest of all mystic yogis also. Still he's telling that I am not able to understand the Supreme Lord, who is the very source of my birth. So he is glorifying Krishna here. And there is a verse from I think Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur. He says that whoever is trying to understand the glories of Krishna, it is just like the glories of Krishna are compared to the vast, boundless, unlimited sky. So the glories of Krishna is compared to vast, unlimited, boundless sky, and the devotees who are trying to understand or describe the glories of the Supreme Lord or glories of Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are like little tiny birds. Tiny birds trying to rise as much as possible in the sky, and according to their own capacity, their own understanding, their own capacity and their own height. As much as height they can go, that much they can understand. And with comparison to the bird, the tiny little bird, how much vast is the sky? It is infinite. So in the same way, to understand glories of Krishna, it is like that. To understand the glories of Krishna or the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, it is like that. We are just like a tiny little birds with our own capacity. We are trying to understand that infinite glories of Krishna. It will always remain insignificant. It is said that Krishna is knower of everything. He knows the past, present, future. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kasyana. Means he knows everything, the past, present and future. He knows the thoughts of all the living entities. He knows what the living entity is about to think at the next moment. That thought also Krishna can understand. So he knows everything. And there is nothing unknown to Krishna. And he is the one who gives all knowledge to living entities. Sarva chaham hridasannivishto matta smritir gnanam apohanam cha. He is the one who gives all knowledge, and he is the one who gives forgetfulness also. And every living entity is completely dependent on Krishna. He is completely dependent on Krishna for everything. So that's why in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, Gaudiya Vaishnavas are not concerned to become like a vastly learned persons. So they are not much concerned or much worried about to become a greatly knowledgeable person or great orator, means great speaker or great knowledgeable person. They are more concerned about how to just repeat the instructions of Krishna as it is. So they are more concerned about that. Just surrender to the Supreme Lord and just accept the teachings from Him and repeat the same as it is. We see there are like different type of munis. The word muni means who can possess different ideology. Means whose ideology is different from other munis. Then only he is considered as muni. That means muni thinks himself that I know certain knowledge. I am aware of certain type of knowledge, or I have created some type of knowledge, or I know certain type of knowledge. So this type of thinking may bring pride in one's pride in one's thoughts actually. But Brahma is not like that. We hear that here Brahma himself is telling that even though I know all the knowledge, I know whatever is happening in this universe, I am with his four heads. He knows like through four directions of the universe, whatever is happening in the whole universe, he is completely aware, Lord Brahma. But still he is telling that I am not able to understand Lord Krishna. And then he says, and then in the purport we hear that the only way to understand the Supreme Lord is through the eagerness, through devotional service. The eagerness to understand Krishna. The more and more we show eagerness in knowing about Krishna, Krishna reveals us. Krishna reveals us. Ye atamam prapadyante. The more and more we are greedy to know about Krishna, even to get that eagerness, we need the help of Krishna. To become eager to know about Krishna, even for that also we need help of Krishna. Even to become lazy, we need help of Krishna. Even to exist in this world, we need help of Krishna. Even to die, we need help of Krishna. So for everything, we need help of Krishna. So that's why. So then, how to get that eagerness to know about Krishna is, first we need to have desire. To develop that eagerness, first we need to have that desire to develop that eagerness to know about Krishna. So it is like that. And the more and more we understand about the glories of Krishna, the more we come to know about that, we know nothing about Krishna. And Lord Brahma is telling that means the more and more we understand the glories about Krishna, the more and more we understand that I know nothing about Krishna. So that brings us humble. That gives us humility, nature of humility. So a vast knowledgeable person means he is the most humble person actually. The person who is very much proud of his own knowledge is actually not the knowledgeable person. That's why the person who has got more knowledge, he becomes more humble. He shows this symptom of humility. And Brahma is showing this humble nature here, that I doesn't know about you, Krishna. You are the very source of my birth. Even though I am the most knowledgeable person, I know I cannot understand you. Like that he's telling. He compares himself as some firefly. Lord Brahma compares himself as a firefly. Firefly, you understand firefly? What do you call in Hindi? Chimli, huh? Patanga. Okay, what? Light worms. So what light worms thinks, it exhibits some amount of light, little bit of light. And it thinks because of its tiny eyes, it eyes are very tiny, and through its eyes, it is able to see that very, very small eyes, and it is able to exhibit little amount of light. But it thinks because of illusion that small firefly, it thinks that I have dissipated the darkness of entire universe. With its small eyes, it cannot see beyond how much light it can exhibit, that much only it can see with that small little amount of eyes. And because of the illusion of that, the firefly thinks that because of my light, I am able to dissipate the whole darkness in the entire universe. In the same way, Lord Brahma is telling that I am just like this firefly in front of you, Krishna, who is like a sun, who is really dissipating the whole darkness in the entire universe. You are like that sun, and I am like an insignificant firefly in front of this sun. In the same way, I am also just like this firefly is very insignificant in front of the sunlight and sun's effulgence. In the same way, I am also insignificant in front of you. At least sun is limited, but you are unlimited. So I am even insignificant than that firefly in front of you. I am more insignificant than firefly in front of you. So like that, Brahma is showing his extreme humility in front of Lord Krishna. Because Krishna only gave this knowledge to Lord Brahma in the heart, and Krishna only revealed himself. Krishna revealed the whole Vaikuntha planets to the Lord Brahma. Brahma was able to see all the Vaikuntha planets, and Brahma was able to see the Lord himself. And when Lord Brahma saw Lord Krishna's darshan, then he wrote Brahma Samhita, glorifying Lord Krishna. So that's why Brahma is our Acharya, and we are supposed to follow the footsteps of Lord Brahma in understanding. And that's why how much of tapasya, how much we may be memorizing, lot of like expert in all the Vedic scriptures, have memorized all like Chaturvedi, Trivedi, so much knowledge we have, but our knowledge is insignificant in front of Lord Brahma's knowledge. Our tapasya is insignificant in front of Lord Brahma. Our knowledge, our capacity to learn things, everything is insignificant in front of Lord Brahma. So that's why we are so much conditioned, and so that's why we should always have this humble attitude that I can never understand Krishna's glories. So the best I can do is whatever Krishna has provided through his Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, I learn it very nicely and practice Krishna consciousness humbly and go home back to Godhead in the association of devotees practicing. So like that humble attitude. He said that even the little particle of little drop of Krishna's knowledge can give us such a transcendental ecstasy for eternal amount of time. Even little bit of drop of Krishna's knowledge can give a jiva such a transcendental ecstasy for eternal amount of time. So like that. There is one pastime, we know this, Lord Vamandev. When Lord Vamandev expanded himself, like to give 3 steps as, like to take the 3 steps from Bali Maharaj. So when Vamandev, when he has covered with 2 steps, when he has covered, like with first step, when he touched that, it is said that his leg got little bit touched to that Karana ocean, that what you call that causal ocean. Virajanadi or causal ocean. So that, so 3 drops of water fell from that ocean. So 3 drops of water fell from that causal ocean. So that 3 drops of water became a gigantic ocean when it came into the universe. It came that completely filled that Brahmaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, and like that. That just 3 drops of water from that causal ocean. And when that water, that Ganges water, when it was coming to the earth, and it was coming with so much of speed that Lord Shiva has to take upon his own head. So that is just 3 drops of the that causal ocean where where Karanodakshaya Vishnu is sleeping in Yoga Nidra, and he is also the source of, and he is also just what you say, that there is one verse, Kala Vishesho, means he is also the portion of Lord Krishna. So that is what the glories of Krishna is. Unlimited. Everything is unlimited about Krishna. And it is very, very difficult to understand Krishna's unlimited glories. So just And this is the only way, this Bhakti Yoga is the only way where we can understand through sincere mood of service and eagerness to know about Krishna. Just like when we chant. So what is meant by tapasya? Tapasya means even though we are so much bored to do any type of service, still we like so much of desperately and so much of conviction we do that service. Even though we are if we are told to do some service and we are so much bored to do that, still to get the mercy of Krishna, doing it with so much of desperateness in eagerness, so that attracts Krishna's attention. So that eagerness to understand, that to get the mercy of Krishna and to know Krishna, that can award us Krishna. The more and more we are eager to know Krishna, we get Krishna. The more and more we are eager to serve Krishna, hear Krishna's holy names, so then Krishna reveals himself to us. It is not because of our tapasya or siddhi or whatever. It is the real tapasya is that how much we are desperate or determined or serious or anxious to serve Krishna, whatever service we get, to do it sincerely. I am also not doing very sincerely. I am just repeating the message. Okay. So like that, when we have such type of consciousness, then by the mercy of Vaishnavas and in the association of devotees, when we practice this Krishna consciousness, then we may be able to see Krishna face to face after this life. And it is said that Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. It is said in Brahma Samhita. So that means it is this Krishna can be understood through the Atma Bhakto. Means when we are in the association of devotees, when we hear from the pure devotees, by our sincere surrender to the Guru Vaishnavas, by our, Prabhupada says here, by self-surrender. Because Krishna is unlimited, we cannot understand him. Krishna, you are so great, your glories are so great, so I cannot understand you. So let me surrender to you completely. That self-surrenderedness, by that surrender, Krishna may reveal us. When Krishna reveals himself, then only we can understand Krishna. He said, Bhaktivedanta, what he says, that don't try to see God, but act in such a way that God comes to see us. So it is like that. We cannot, with our imperfect senses, with our eyes like firefly, we cannot see the infinite form of Krishna. We just have to act, and we should have a humble mood and humility and eagerness and anxious to see Krishna and perform devotion service in such mood. Then one day we can see Krishna face to face. By surrender to a spiritual master, by satisfying the spiritual master, by pleasing the spiritual master, then we can, by the mercy of the spiritual master, we can get the darshan of Krishna. Okay? By reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is said that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the absolute medium by which we can understand the absolute truth. So we should read this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, distribute this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, do Harinam Sankirtan. Krishna can empower in any manner by seeing our eagerness. Suppose if you are very much eager to do Harinam Sankirtan, I want to spread Harinam Sankirtan all over the Hyderabad. So when we have that much eager, Krishna will empower us. If we have eager to distribute books, lot of books, that desire, Krishna, I want to distribute more and more books. Krishna, I want to open more and more centers for youth preaching. I want to get a lot of money for building more and more temples. That desire and then humble attitude, then Krishna will empower such devotee. And if Krishna will not empower us, without Krishna's help, it is not possible. Thank you very much. You have 5 minutes. If you have any questions, queries, you can answer. Madhur, proceed.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu, you told that only 3 drops fell down from Vireza river into this universe. But I heard from Acharyas that that hole is still not repaired actually. Still water is coming down. Still water is leaking from there.
Still water is leaking from there.
Yes. Sir. So, can you elaborate about it?
I heard from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He told that when Vaman Dev's lotus feet, when it touched that Viraja river, it just little bit, it got opened and again it got immediately covered. I heard it like that in the class. You can hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class.com, this same verse. He says this exactly.
Thank you. And one more question. Like you told that after having darshan of Krishna, Lord Brahma wrote Brahma Samhita. So, like when he wrote in the beginning of creation or in Dwapar Yuga, when Lord Brahma saw Krishna's whole darshan of everything.
Beginning of the creation.
Beginning of creation.
It's I understand. I think like that. Sessionary Pro can elaborate it. I think means it is mentioned. I heard in the class that Lord Krishna gave Chaturslok Bhagavatam and Lord Brahma elaborated it, and then he showed him the Golok Vrindavan, and after that Lord Brahma narrated this whole Brahma Samhita. So it was the beginning of creation.
Thank you.
That approach.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the nice class. So, in Kali Yuga, we have the Harinam Mahamantra for deliverance. But does Lord Brahma does he chant Hare Krishna or he does Tapasya now? What does he do? His service.
What is his service? His service is to do creation. Creation of the whole universe.
But he's still now living now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, but it's Kali Yuga now.
He came as Haridas Thakur and participated in already Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for the class. I was very astonishing by the translation of the Prabhupada. He mentioned that Samahitas is understood as self-realization. Can you show the translation? Brahma is mentioning that in spite of I have undergone all austerities and I am an expert in mystic powers and self-realization. I was very wonder what is the meaning of self-realization here.
Self-realization means I am not this body, I am spirit soul. That is self-realization. I am part and parcel of Krishna. There are different levels of self-realization also. So one of the level is I am not this body, I am different from this body and I am spirit soul. So that is the at least preliminary stage of self-realization. There are higher stages of self-realization also. Topmost say of self-realization is I am eternal servant. Gopi Bhartu Padakam Dasa Dasanandasa. That is topmost level of self-realization. I am servant of Krishna.
Which self-realization is Brahma is talking about?
Can pray to Brahma, Brahma will reveal to you. Which stage Lord Brahma is that? I cannot understand.
Actually, what I understood self-realization means to know that he is eternal servant of Lord Krishna.
It's mentioned here. says that Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samas sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labte param. These are the symptoms of a self-realized soul. So Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, he is always peaceful. Na shochati na kankshati, he never laments, he never desires. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu, he sees all the living entities equally. So these are one of the symptoms of self-realization. So we can understand, if we are self-realized, then we should have such type of symptoms of yes. So you want to understand like in which stage Lord Brahma's self-realization is there. Senior devotees can answer it. Radhakant Prabhu can.
Hare Krishna. Samahita word is used in different places in Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam. In 6.7, the meaning is approached completely. Another place, Bhagavatam 1.7.20, being in concentration. And in this verse, self-realized. In other place, in 9th chapter, 8th verse, thus situated. Okay, being completely absorbed, fixed in trance, controlling his mind and senses with attention. Like, varieties of translations are there just for Samahita. With full attention, is capable, with great attention, always in trance, being very contemplative, with full attention, liberal and good. Like that, this word is used many places in different ways. So Prabhupada has used in this place appropriately self-realization.
Thank you. That Prabhuji wants to.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. I had a small question that as we heard from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Jivere Sharup Hoy, Krishna Nitya Das, Gopi Bhartur Pad Kamla Das Dasanudas. So this is our Swarupa. Then how that Bhava, Ishwar Bhava, which we have in small amount overpowered us. So we forget that we are Das and we try to become the God. And pride comes, that's why we forget Krishna. So how does it happen?
How that enjoying tendency has come up.
No, I'm just trying to understand that how that Bhav overpowers the Swarupa, which is our real position, being a Das of Krishna. And then we try to become Ishwar, which is also there in small amount as part and particle. So that I'm trying to understand.
That bhava, it has been covered because of our enviousness towards Krishna, dvesha, ichcha dvesha samutena, because of our envious nature that I want Krishna is getting all the attention. I want to have such attention like Krishna is getting, such popularity Krishna is having, such fame Krishna is possessing, such beauty Krishna has. So that envious nature of the soul has covered his original swarupa, original bhava for Krishna, that envious nature and material desires, as because of that he forgot and became ignorant of the fact that he is eternal servant of Krishna.
But Prabhuji, what we are doing practice in devotion, and even if we are doing, then also it overpowers sometimes. Let's say if you are doing Sankirtan, somebody would say that you are a very good Sankirtan leader, and immediately that overpowers us. If we are a good book distributor or a Kirtaniya, then also it overpowers us. So what we should do that so that we will remain in our position, which is a Das.
So that's what we heard from this Lord Brahma Prabhuji. Whenever we think that we are something good in something, great in something, but even the expert people, expert Vedantist, expert who has done a lot of tapasya, they are claiming that I am insignificant, my position is insignificant. So when we hear from such acharyas who has shown so much of simplicity, so much of humility in their behavior, we can understand. When we hear from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam like this, when we regularly read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we'll definitely will definitely doesn't become proud of our like Sankirtan leader or whatever. Like will come to our natural position as a humble soul.
That's a loophole also, that if Brahma can fall down, so what
any living entity can fall down very easily. If Brahma can fall down, even Brahma, that is just a Leela, that how powerful is Maya to exhibit that Leela. Brahma is like great Acharya. He actually, he cannot fall down.
Thank you.
Already 9:05 we can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just like Madhukana to ask that there are 3 drops which fell down. So I was just trying to understand that drop is a like quantity which irrespective of whatever a reservoir is, it remains the same. Drop means only just little drop, whether it is of one can or whether it is of an ocean or whether it is of river. So I'm just trying to understand that how the 3 drops, it must be of either transcendental nature, then only it should be like that. Otherwise, like one drop cannot become ocean. Drop means drop only, just one drop.
So the drop of causal ocean is like a huge like Samartaka cloud, something like that for the universe.
That's what drop of, irrespective of whichever reservoir it is, doesn't matter, because drop means only one drop. Whether it is of in one pot water is there, you take one drop of it, and whether you take one drop from reservoir, the drop quantity will remain same only.
No, it's different, Prabhu. It's not like that. Like for if you say just like there is pralaya is happening here. It is for demigods, it is just like a small insignificant for them. But for us, it is like a huge pralaya. We're getting destroyed. So like that. So it depends. Like this Lord, you can understand the size of Karanodakshaya Vishnu. That from his sweat pores, huge universes are coming out when he's inhaling and exhaling. And when he is present in that ocean, so drop of that ocean is the 3 drops of that ocean is like a vast amount of ocean for this particular universe. Still not able to.
I cannot understand anyway. So my second question, as you told that Krishna knows what is there in our heart, and he has that power to change it also. He can change our thoughts. So, and Krishna's mission is to claim the fallen souls. So that's what he wants, and he sends different acharyas to claim the fallen souls. So when he knows that this is in our heart, anyways contamination is in our heart, so why doesn't it change our thoughts only, so that all the souls can go back to Godhead? Now, answer is, some devotees give answer that no, he doesn't want to force us. He wants to love us. But that's not a force. You can just change the thoughts, and it's not a I feel it's not a force. You just change the thoughts, and then we will just all go back to Godhead only. So how is it forceful? So why doesn't he do it?
Means he doesn't disturb our free will. He doesn't want to interfere in our free will. He always gives choice. Means he doesn't force. He has a power to change our thoughts. He is completely powerful. He can change our thoughts. But that becomes like means he wants us to show eagerness in loving him. He is searching for that. He is not searching for like more number of all, he wants all the souls to come back, and if he wants, he can take them also, but they have this envious nature also. All these things are there.
As you told that Krishna wants us to be eager, so he can actually make us eager also.
Krishna can develop that eagerness also, but we don't have that desire also to show eagerness in service or that. So that desire also Krishna only has to give me. So So it comes from the desire. That desire comes in the association of devotees. So Krishna sends all his devotees and helps him to come. So so he has done a mistake, and if Krishna takes him directly, then how will he understand his mistake? If Krishna takes him directly to the spiritual world, how will he understand his mistake? So when he's suffering in this world, when he got the association of devotees and he surrendered to the Guru, then he understood how much mistake I did. Then he surrenders to spiritual master, humble mode. He hears Krishna's teaching. Then automatically his thoughts changes. So that way looks more appealing to all the conditioned souls. That will give so much of confidence to all the people who are suffering in this world. So they also can go home back to God like that. This is my speculation. Answer? Okay, Prabhu. Already 9:10, we'll discuss.
Prabhuji,
personally.
you mentioned a statement regarding Gaudiya Vaishnavas that Gaudiya Vaishnavas doesn't want to become a scholar or something like that you mentioned. Can you please
Not
repeat that?
much concerned, like they're not interested in like becoming great speaker or great Vedantist like that.
Please repeat that statement again.
Means Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, the devotees, they are not much concerned in becoming like expert, great Vedantist or great orator, like great speaker. Just like we see from other Mayavadi Sampradaya, they are like expert in speech. They are very expert in speech. All these Mayavadi philosophers, they all juggling words they use to manipulate people. So that's how they grow their community. But we are we don't copy them. We just we just preach the same. We just give the Krishna's knowledge as it is. We just preach the same message what Krishna is teaching, and then like that. Prabhuji is telling to stop.
Okay.
We'll discuss personally. Thank you very much. If you have any question, we'll discuss personally. Grantara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Anta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.